What's up, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Post-Gazette Pirates Show presented by FanDuel. My name's Colin Beazley. I'm here with Jason Mackey. We're at spring training in Bradenton. Pitchers and catchers report date was today. Spring training is underway. The sun is shining. Birds are chirping. It's beautiful. Jason, how you feel?
I feel great, my man. I'm looking at sunshine. You can see the action on the fields behind us. It's been a busy day, productive day, fun day, all that stuff. It's good to be back. There's a lot of first day at school vibes here. Paul Skenes talked. We'll get into that at a conversation I really enjoyed with Mitch Keller. A lot to discuss, man. Let's break it down.
Yeah, a lot to discuss. But as you mentioned, minor league camp is going on behind us. If you see a ball headed our way, just shout. Hopefully we don't get hit in the head. Hopefully we're good.
We're gambling here.
We're gambling
little bit, here. But let's do it.
Yeah, I think the first thing that's worth talking about, we'll just go chronologically. And your first conversation of the day, at least with the player, was with Mitch Keller. You had a one-on-one conversation with him. It's written up at post-gazette.com. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff there, but what were your biggest takeaways from your conversation with Mitch?
Yeah, I had a couple. Number one was Pilates, which was fun. There was a giant box next to Mitch's locker, and I asked him what it was, and it was a standing chair. I don't know enough about Pilates to tell you, but apparently they use that for Pilates. Okay. I Googled that. But anyway, Mitch Keller is here, and that is something I think is an offseason storyline. I'm guilty of thinking of it. You probably thought of it. You watching at home have probably thought of it. The Pirates should trade Mitch Keller. Well, they didn't. He's here, and it's, I think, a very good thing. I'm glad to see him here. If the Pirates are going to win and have a positive season, I want Mitch Keller to experience that. I also want Mitch Keller to pitch better in the second half. Mitch Keller wants to pitch better in the second half, which is where the Pilates comes in. That's something his wife suggested to him in November. It's something to try, so he's been doing that. He's been hooked on it. So we'll be curious to see what happens. There's also a strand of the story where he talked about the makeup of the rotation. You've got a brash, confident group, right? Paul Skenes, Jared Jones, Braxton Ashcraft, Bubba Chandler. They're a lot of fun. They have some cool personalities. And I asked Mitch where he fits into that. He said he's the guy with some experience. He's seen some things. He tries to be a bit of a calming presence. And I think he's a good one at that. So personally, I'm rooting for Mitch Keller. He's never conducted himself with anything but just a ton of class the whole time I've covered him. He deserves to be here, and I'm excited to see how he pitches.
Yeah, I highly recommend checking out all of what Mitch shed in that article at post-gazette.com. But I want to talk about another starting pitcher that I saw a little bit of today, and that would be Jared Jones.
Ooh,
we saw him pitch,
on a mound.
We saw him on the mound throwing baseballs hard. We got to see Jared Jones pitch a little side session today. He kept it to about 25 pitches. He wasn't going full speed. He's still recovering. He's still ramping up. So it wasn't full 100% Jared Jones, but it was Jared Jones on a mound, and he looked good. What was cool, what I saw is how clearly excited he was to be out there. It wasn't his first time on the mound. He's mixed in some off-speed pitches before. He's thrown at this level before, but seeing him at this stage in his recovery was encouraging. It was also cool to see the reaction from Pirates fans. I put a video on my social media, and there's been a lot of fan reaction to it just because it is an exciting development. Doesn't mean that he'll be ready for spring training, or not spring training, opening day, I should say. It doesn't mean that he's ahead of schedule, behind schedule, whatever, but just seeing him on the mound was good to see and good for the Pirates' hopes in 2026.
Yeah, and he was really happy with the slider, by the way. We didn't have a gun on him velocity-wise. They did. It's on a screen we can't see, but you can see a slider, and there was some definition to it. Obviously, a very, very good pitch for Jared Jones. Honestly, man, the first thought that I had watching that, this guy's going to be back in June? Like, I'm not trying to rush him. I mean, obviously, take until June. I want him to be healthy. The most important thing is that he is in the Pirates rotation for a long time. But I'll tell you what, man, my biggest takeaway was this guy wants to be back and looks really good and looks like, maybe the earlier end of that. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, definitely something that's an encouraging sign, regardless of what it ends up being. And the other pitcher we talked to today is the big one.
Who's that?
The tall one, the ace.
Oh, yeah. The Skenes guy.
A fella named Paul something or other?
Yeah.
Paul
Skenes.
Skenes, yes. When we talked to Paul Skenes today, we asked him how he was feeling, what
Cy Young,
what his offseason was like. Yes, the Cy Young. And it was just cool to hear from him. He talked about a couple of things he worked on this offseason. He said he isn't planning on adding more pitches. He didn't know where the sleeper report came from. He's not planning on using more of his cutter, but he's excited to be around this team and excited about the additions they've had. One thing that I found interesting is Jason, you asked him about how he'd been in contact with Ben Cherington and Bob Nutting, and it sounds like Paul was excited that some ideas were taken into play. That doesn't mean that Paul Skenes said go out and sign Marcell Ozuna or go out and sign Ryan O'Hearn or do specifics, but it sounds like he had some ideas that were followed. What'd you make of that
Yeah,
comment?
I thought that whole strand of the interview was really good. And somebody asked him, what are your goals for following up your Cy Young season? And I think whoever asked it was sort of expecting Paul to say something individually. His answer was make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
He's not worried about the individual stuff. Paul Skenes, the way he conducts himself, I think he knows he's going to be fine. He's really good. He works his tail off, all that fun stuff. Paul Skenes wants to win, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's here for. And I mean, he talked about that with me in Florida again today, saying the Pirates have the talent to win. It's a matter of how they put it together, the work that's done on the fields behind us, and how they're able to go about and create this winning culture. So, I mean, I love that. I love that. Not seeing a guy seeing a guy who's not caring about the individual stuff. He wants to worry about the team. And I'll tell you what, Colin, I'm not putting anything past Paul Skenes. I don't think that's a safe bet to bet against him.
Yeah, he's also always said, regardless of what the team is on the field, that they have to go out there and do it. Go out there and win. Go out there and have success. Go out there individually as a team, whatever. Go out there and do it regardless of the team that's assembled. So he's not someone who's like, oh, we signed Marcell Ozuna, we signed O'Hearn, we made this trade and that trade and whatever. He always puts the emphasis on the players to go out and win. And that was something that it stayed the same both in 2025 and 2026, and I'm sure in 2024 before I was around. Like, he understands that regardless of what the team is out there, he has to go out and do it, and the team has to go out and do it. And that's exactly the mentality I want from my leader. I'd say from my veteran leader, he's 23, but like that's the mentality you have to have.
Hard to imagine he's 23, huh?
Yeah, that's the mentality you have to have in Pittsburgh or elsewhere. Like that's just a winning attitude and something that will be seen pretty much everywhere.
Paul Skenes kind of keeps it buttoned up when talking to us, right? Like, we can probably agree on that. One part that I thought was interesting was a little bit off script for him, was talking about Konnor Griffin, and not so much facing Konnor Griffin, which he did in the live AB, or a couple live ABs, I should say, on Monday. I thought the answer that really struck me was him saying, it's hard to believe he's 19. It's hard to believe the way this kid moves and conducts himself. He's 19. I want to be like, right back at you, Paul. It's hard to believe you're 23. They've got a 19-year-old and a 23-year-old who both act like they're 35. It's astonishing. And watching Konnor Griffin today, man, just to change it up a little bit, boy, was he impressive, huh?
Yeah, Konnor Griffin, he's someone we'll probably talk about a lot tomorrow as well. We're actually going to speak to him. He'll address reporters tomorrow morning. But we got to see him as part of big league camp today. He took batting practice. Jason watched it. Where'd one of the swings
I think he hit a car.
You think
he hit a car. That's Aaron Razum, one of the Pirates front office people, and I were sitting there watching it, and we both looked at each other. Did that hit a car? Did that hit a car? And there was some fuss out there. He thought it bounced off of a roof. The ball bounced exceedingly high. So I don't know, man. I can't say for sure that it did, but I know this, that I watched Konnor Griffin obliterate several baseballs, and it just looked so easy for him. I know the game's not easy, but the power that this kid generates, man, and you were watching some of his infield work too, just so smooth. It's exactly what you want to see from Griffin. I know we're out over our skis. It's day one or whatever, but it's going to be a primary storyline of spring training, how ready this kid is. And he passed the first test. I know that.
Yeah.
Whether the car's safe or not, I don't know. We'll go check.
We should probably go check that. But yeah, I was watching some of the defensive drills, as you mentioned, the Pirates infielders, those who are already here. For what it's worth, Pirates infielders don't have to be here right now.
Right.
They haven't officially reported, but a lot of them are. Konnor Griffin being one of them. He looked smooth at shortstop. Him and Nick Gonzalez and Jack Brannigan were some of the ones taking reps at shortstop. And I also found it interesting who was taking reps at third base.
Ooh,
get into a little bit of a different conversation. Jared Trillo was, of course, there first, but two other ones that stood out to me, Emmanuel Valdez and Termarr Johnson, also took some reps at third base. Both them are second basemen by trade. Termarr Johnson was still taking some reps at second base, but that was something I wasn't expecting to see. We haven't asked Don Kelly about that yet, and whether that's a depth thing or maybe it's just a drill or maybe it's a position change that happened over the offseason. We're not sure yet, but it was something that I wasn't expecting to see.
Yeah, no, same here. But I mean, I understand why you're trying to get Tamar's bat in the lineup or create a pathway to playing time. Right now, they don't have a third baseman. I think they will go get a third baseman at some point, but it makes sense to get him some reps there. I don't think he's going to, break camp with the big club. He still needs to play in AAA and finish his development, and that's fine. But I'm intrigued by it. If he hits, he'll play. just like anybody on the roster. And just another guy in that conversation, Colin, not that it was a surprise. You mentioned Jared Triolo. I was watching him hit for a little while, and I knew his hands were high last year. I don't remember them being as high as they were. And I asked Tree as he was coming out of the cage, like, were your hands always that high? And he said, yeah, that was one of the adjustments that he made last year. But Jared Triolo, somebody to watch in camp. He looked pretty good. And I know it's batting practice. I know we can, get a little ahead of ourselves, but looked pretty good. I'm going to be keeping an eye on him.
Yeah. It's day one. We had plenty to look at today. Very, very interesting day. Good to be out here.
Yes.
What are you excited for day two?
Oh, man. Konnor Griffin. Any of the subsequent pitchers. We haven't seen much of Bubba Chandler. I don't know if he's going to throw a side tomorrow. Somebody I'll be looking for. I want to keep watching the pitchers, man. I enjoyed watching Mitch Keller today. Jose Urquidy threw. I thought he threw pretty well. Just whoever's throwing live, who's ever throwing a side. And it's probably a general answer, but this team's going to be built. Its strength is going to be pitching, and I want to watch that as much as possible.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, we both grew up pitching, so that's the side of the ball we love.
Yep.
But yeah, it was interesting to see Urquidy. It was interesting to see Keller, and we'll see who throws tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys for watching. We will be here tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Aren't you happy to be here?
I am
happy to be here.
This is it. We made it. We made it, guys. All right.
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.